and she just got to work. 20 years later, yeah, she's got like the business. People come to her, multiple revenue streams, completely free, laptop lifestyle, her own coaching clients. Like, it's real. It's possible if you just go. And tonight, you can get some mentorship from her for like $20. I think it's 25, excuse me. So deepabyss.com if you're on this live or listening to the podcast here before tonight. Every third Thursday of the month for the last 5 years, she's been hosting this mastermind to pass on these talents, pass on this wisdom, so she could really pay it forward.
I'm about to do the call. Brian's
and show people what she's been able to do to live a life, or just like create a business and a life that's that life that we're all promised when we first got started. Diane Hochman, my dear friend, are only one of two.
Good morning, Brian, and good morning, everybody. I am, for the first time in a little while, I'll admit it, this whole coronavirus quarantine lockdown thing is not been good for my energy. And yesterday, the state of Connecticut opened up a couple of businesses, and I actually left my house. And so I'm in a pretty good mood today, feeling a little perky. And of course, it's the third Thursday of the month. So tonight is my monthly mastermind, The Deep Abyss. And anybody who knows me knows I love The Deep Abyss. I started it years ago because I wanted to teach, we did a lot of mindset for ourselves. And this year we're really focusing in on the psychology of the marketplace, the psychology of the prospect, the psychology of buying and buying behaviors. And what I really believe is that in order to understand the buying behaviors of others, we first need to study the buying behaviors of ourselves. And I'm sure many of you have heard top marketers say that if you're not a good buyer, you're not going to be a good seller. If you're reluctant to buy something, to invest in yourself, the chance, whether it's in your health and wellness, whether it's in your financial, education, whether it's in your business education, those that are reluctant to invest in themselves have difficulty attracting people that want to invest in whatever it is they're selling. So that's one thing you want to watch and look at your own buying behaviors. And then once you look at your own buying behaviors and determine whether or not you are willing to invest in yourself, would you be a good prospect, right? Then you want to start to look at what makes you want to buy, what turns you on, what lights you up. And then after that, you can start to really break it down and understand what those things are that move people. And that's what we've been covering. And we've covered this, what are we in May? So we've had 4 lessons. We kind of switched over to kind of a new format, and I'm loving it. I think the group last month was very interactive session. So it was incredible. This month, and if any of you guys saw the graphic from tonight, every month, every time we do the wake up call, we have a little graphic. I took a ridiculous picture of me and our affiliate manager, Baxter, the honey badger. If you're new and you're listening to this on audio and you haven't seen him, go check out any of the MLSP stuff, the My Lead System Pro stuff. You're going to see Baxter. And I had just hit 7 figures in commissions. And My Lead System Pro was so generous and gave me a cruise as a gift for having done that. And I did that Titanic pose with Baxter where, they're at the front of the ship. I'm the king of the world or whatever that is. And it's really ridiculous. So I put the picture because I thought it was funny because I've been very consistent and very committed to Baxter over the years. Maybe that's why I'm the top kid on the block right now, because I've been so committed and consistent with Baxter, our affiliate manager. And so I, like him to pay me, and he does. And again, you could be a customer here. You can be a member. You don't have to be an affiliate. You don't have to promote anything here. But a lot of people like to, because they like to at least cover the cost of their membership, because I love tools that I can use and training that I can use that I can earn enough to cover my costs. So a lot of people do like to become an affiliate. And then there's several people that have gone on to make some significant, commissions here, which is awesome. So the reason why I use the picture and the reason why I want to talk about this morning and this month is because first, like I said, we have to understand our own behavior so that we can understand the behavior of our potential customers. And here's one of the laws of influence, okay? We will make decisions that are consistent with the commitment that we've made to ourselves and the lifestyle that we're used to, that we're accustomed to. What does that mean? If I've decided I'm broke, I'm never going to make any money, and this industry is a scam, right? I'm sitting here after 20 years. It's not a scam, kids. But let's say I've made that decision. Then I'm going to select to align myself with places, people, and things that will prove my belief back to me. I want you to think about that for a minute. Because you ever watch people, they just walk around with their head hanging down. They're always in some game, some scammy thing, and then they're like, nothing ever works, because they're making decisions to prove to themselves that they're consistent with the commitment that they've made in their mind. Okay. You guys get that? Now, if somebody's decided, like I did, when I came into this industry, I had 2 little kids and I needed to make money because I wanted to stay home with them. I didn't want to work at my job. I'd already left my job, and now I had run us broke. And I had to either figure out a way to make enough money to stay home, or I had to go get a job. I had to suit up. And so I made a commitment that I was going to figure it out. And then I made decisions that were consistent with the commitment I made. You guys follow that? So you have to look at, when you're looking at yourself, you have to see you have no choice. I always talk about marketing into people's DNA. You've heard me say that a million times. I was taught this by my mentor. People are coded a certain way. Now, they can change their code, and you should work on changing your code. I did. Gosh knows I did. I could tell you that story another day, but all the things I did to change my coding. Okay, I come from working, blue collar, workaday people. The idea of having a business was so foreign to me. The idea of riding around first class and, planes, and going in luxury cruises and staying in big suites and, at the Four Seasons and stuff, that was so foreign to me. So I had to do a lot of work to change my mind, because what happens is you guys can sit and argue with me all day, but you're going to make decisions consistent with the commitment that you've already made. Now, let me show you an example, and I'll make you guys nod your head. And then we're going to get deep into it tonight. I shouldn't give this one away this morning, but I'm gonna, because I want you to come tonight. It's thedeepabyss.com. If you're listening to this on podcast and you're not listening to it on the 3rd Thursday of every month, it doesn't matter. You can sign up anytime, because there's 5 years. Yes, I said 5 years worth of archives in there. And every month I say, on the call, I say, Brian, I got to get with you. We got to change this. We got to strip this stuff out and turn it into volumes or sell it as separate products. But we have it. I want you to have this, but then here's what's interesting. You might get it, but if you haven't committed, you won't be consistent with using it. So then it doesn't really matter. So check this out. Have you ever bought a car, a house, a piece of jewelry, something that was a significant commitment? Most of you have. You can raise your hand right now, right? Now, if you're driving, keep your hands on the wheel. Although nobody's driving lately, right? Everybody's home. Have you ever bought something that was a significant decision? Maybe you've invested in a business. What did you do? Did you join a gym? Did you, think about the things you did. What did you do immediately after you bought that thing? What you did, whether you realize it or not, if you step back and think about it, is you bought something else to validate the decision that you made to buy the first thing. This is commitment and consistency. You signed up for something, and then you immediately afterwards went out and bought new purple notebooks and purple pens. Or you bought a brand new car and you went out and you bought mats and fuzzy dice and stuff to clean it because you believed you were going to clean it perfect because it was brand new. You bought a house, you went and you bought furniture. I remember when I moved into this house, I went and bought all kinds of stuff for my house and paintings and all kinds of stuff. When people make a decision, they make secondary, tertiary, I don't know what 4 is, quaternary, whatever, decisions to validate the original decision they made. Now, it's interesting because if you learn this rule, you'll be able to start changing your own life, because you're going to start to look at how you're keeping yourself in a box if you want to get out of that box, because you're making a decision, you're making another decision, and another decision, and another decision to keep validating the decision you made in the first place, or the thought process that you had, because you want to be consistent and committed to the thing that's embedded in your mind, right? And then you also start to understand, like people, a lot of times they look at marketing and they go, why do they have a second thing? Why do they always have these pop-up things to buy and a one-time only and this and that? Because people are going, guys, you got to learn this, make a lot more money. People, when they make a decision, they're going to make a second decision to validate the first decision. It's like clockwork. It's like clockwork. So if you've been struggling in the industry, I want you to take a little time today, or maybe join me tonight, which will help make a big, help you a lot more, and sit and look at your own behaviors. Because if you're buying something and you're not making a secondary or tertiary action towards that commitment, it's because you didn't make a commitment in the first place, right? Like, let's say you buy a piece of software and you never open it. That means you never really made a commitment. You just took out your credit card, okay? Or you're not taking action because you're being consistent with the commitment that you have that this thing isn't going to work. I'll buy it, but it's probably not going to work. That's the underlying thought. You won't even open it. You won't move forward. You won't take that next consistent action. Look at, have you jumped around in programs a lot? And I'm not saying you shouldn't change program or make a decision when something isn't the right timing for you or the right place for you. But are you jumping around looking for the next thing? That's because you haven't firmly made a decision. And so you're not keeping the consistency back to the commitment that you didn't make. How are you looking for the next cool technique? Okay. Making a commitment to learn how to communicate with people and doing that daily so that you get good is the foundation rock of your business. Are you trying to figure out a secret internet way around it? Are you looking for a loophole? That means that you haven't made the initial commitment. Now, what's interesting is, and then I'm going to wrap up here, and we're going to head over to the MLSP fan page, and we can dice this up a little bit more, and you guys can ask me some questions, because this is very cool stuff. People will say to me, here's something that people are learning right now. You go out on the internet, you go out on Facebook, you start a conversation or something, you start a thread, and now you have like 100 people that replied back to you saying info or something. And I can tell right away, just by looking at somebody's profile or the first 3 things they write to me, the first 3 words they say or write to me, I can tell whether or not they're a prospect. Now, some people would say you're prejudging. Well, maybe, but I'm also taking years of experience in working with people, because I can tell right away whether the person's ready to make a commitment or make some type of decision. And for my business, I want people that can make a decision, right? I don't want to spend hours and hours and hours talking to someone that can't make a decision. We all know that. We've all done that. If we learn this and we study ourselves and we study the marketplace and we study the behavior of individuals, you're going to start to see patterns. And that's why you want to hang out with me, because you're going to start to see patterns, and you're going to save yourself so much time and frustration chasing after people that were never in a position to work with you in the first place, because they haven't made a commitment to move forward and they won't be consistent. Now, I don't know about you guys, but a lot of you are in network marketing. And guys, it's not the recruiting that makes you the money. Get this. Hear me. It's not the signing the person up. It's the consistency of them staying and then them opening up their warm market to you so that you can drive those lines down. That's where the big residual income comes from. The reason why I've become the top earner here at MLSP is certainly not because I'm the slickest. It's certainly not because I'm technical. It's certainly not because I'm any of those things. It's because I understood these concepts, and I'm looking for people and enrolling people that have that consistency to the commitment that they made to themselves. I'm identifying through sorting systems, which are more level 2 and level 3 skills, which you can get there if you work up through our channels, I'm identifying people that are the perfect candidates that will stay longer so that I have a stable income that will stand the test of time. I can't control programs, companies, changes, all that stuff that goes on out there. But what I can control is my list and my base of contacts. And that list and base of contacts and learning how to build it is what will change your career. And it all starts with learning how to talk to one person. It all starts in examining yourself and your own behaviors. It all starts with hanging around with people that have come down this road that have experience. For those of you that were just at the 3-day workshop, you spent 3 days. When's the last time you spent 3 days with people that really know this stuff? It's probably never happened for you or been a while. And when you spend that time with the people that understand these concepts, when you're willing to look in the mirror and you're willing to sharpen the saw and hone these skills and hang out with me in the deep abyss, what happens is you start to streamline everything you do, and your posts get more effective and your messages get more effective and what you write becomes more effective. And if you do Facebook Lives, they become more effective and everything becomes more effective. And then you get to be like me 20 years later, working a couple hours a day, having the time of your life. It's pretty cool. I'm not saying you have to wait 20 years. I didn't wait 20 years to get that, but I'm 20 years in. So that's it. Commitment and consistency. It's a very deep topic. And it's much deeper than the idea of, I just joined something. And it's much deeper than the idea of a DMO, a daily method of operation. It's a psychology that sits inside of you, and it sits inside of every person you come in contact with. And P.S. and by the way, if you aren't on the road where you've made a commitment and you're taking consistent action, making consistent decisions and make consistent purchases to sharpen your saw, etc., everybody knows that, and people won't be attracted to you. When they see you're like a rock, I've taught this for years, be the lighthouse, be the rock, stand still, attract them to you. When they see that you haven't gone anywhere, they all come to you. And it can take as little as 90 days to establish that. It's pretty powerful. So I hope to see you tonight. If you listen to this live, third Thursday of the month, this is, guys, I don't chase anyone. I don't beg anyone. I'd like to give you my life's work. I'd like to give you what I was taught by masters. I'd like to give you what is years worth of study and honing of skills. And I'd like to give it to you in one night a month. And then the question is, have you made the commitment to learn these types of things to make your life easier and make your business more profitable? And will you be consistent in receiving the gift? I sat with a mentor for years, and because of him, I'm free. I'll see you guys over on the fan page. Everybody take care. And I am super excited about what's going on with Miss Stacy Hall. Some exciting Go For Yes stuff coming on. So stay tuned for all of that. She's got a lot coming up for you guys. I'll see you in a bit. Okay, gang, I'm going to go over for the MLSP thing. Thank you for being here. I could not see any comments because I'm on StreamYard and I couldn't see what was going on Facebook unless you were on YouTube. So I will look later. If you need me, of course, reach out. You can find my email list at dianehochman.com and, subscribe over on YouTube and all that other good stuff. Hit the bell on Facebook. Mark me as first, whatever it is. And if I can help you in any way, just hit me up with a message. See you later.